at Myers Creek. We are on 33 Rippleton Road in Cazenovia, and I am sitting next to somebody that I've wanted to talk to for a long time. We've crossed paths a million times, Brittany, but
Yes.
this is a great opportunity because you were named to the NE10, the conference that Lemoyne used to be in
Yep.
NCAA D2, NE10 Hall of Fame, to the Upstate Lacrosse Foundation Hall of Fame, to the Lemoyne Gold Wave Hall of Fame, and most recently to the Greater Syracuse Sports Hall of Fame. So before the age of 35, you are a four-time Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So can we please give her a round of applause, show some love to Miss Brittany Brigandi here. She is with us on Wake Up Call, and of course, we are with you on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. We are worldwide with this awesome broadcast that we have here with Miss Brittany Brigandi. She grew up in Central New York. She went to Christian Brothers Academy, then she went on to Lemoyne, and just did all these amazing things in the lacrosse world. So one of the greatest athletes in Central and Upstate New York history.
Well, thank you.
Not lacrosse, like every sport. If you're a four-time Hall of Famer, I think we could say you're one of the greatest natives to ever come out of Central and Upstate New York. So congrats.
Thank you. I mean, it's, I feel like I have imposter syndrome right now hearing that.
It is. You said it hasn't hit you. Have any of them hit you that you're in 4 Hall of Fames? Does any of that hit you or no?
No, I don't think so.
At all. Okay.
Not that it's like, I mean, I know I'm in them, but it's surreal because I think it's amazing when I hear like someone else gets into a Hall of Fame without realizing I'm actually in 4 of them.
The first one.
Yes.
Share with us the first one.
That was Lemoyne.
So I was there for that,
Okay.
and you got to celebrate going into the Gold Wave, Lemoyne's Hall of Fame.
That's the first one.
Okay. Bring me into that moment, because I remember going, oh, that's Brittany, the back of your head, because I was filming in the back. So bring me into that moment for you.
Well, when I first got the call, it was definitely surreal. And so Carol Jones, she nominated me, and she was actually one of my mentors for this past one as well, for the Greater Syracuse Hall of Fame. And I got the call from Lemoyne that I was getting in, and kind of similar actually to the Greater Syracuse one. I asked them both if they were sure that they had the right person.
Yeah.
And then in that moment, it was like at the actual Hall of Fame, that being my first one, it was absolutely surreal. And, we talked a little bit before. Dan and I have known each other for a bit of time now, but having that moment and honoring my father who passed away, it was really incredible to be in that. And then from there, it's just taken off.
Yeah. Your dad means a lot to you, and you don't
Yes.
hide that.
No.
The guiding light that he's essentially been for you.
Yes.
How does Dad continue to show up in your life? Not just in these Hall of Fame moments, but maybe when you're just peacefully walking in the sand.
Oh, well, yes, walking in the sand is very nice, living in Florida now. I don't know, I talk to my dad all the time, honestly. I'm very much into my faith and speaking with him, even though he's, moved on to a better place. He's there in every part of my life, every single day, and I look for all of the signs all the time, whether there's a cardinal or a butterfly. Actually, leading up to this past Hall of Fame, so he was a boxer, and he boxed for Ray Rinaldi and Carmen Basilio, and at the at the Hall of Fame in the Greater Syracuse one of the board members was dropping off some of my belongings there, and just so happened that Carmen's nephews were at the Hall of Fame at the same time. And I actually, in the film, had featured my dad's picture of myself and him, but in a shadow box with Carmen shorts that Carmen gave him when my dad fought for him. And so,
That's cool.
Yeah, having that within a day or two of being inducted into that is, mind-blowing.
Well, and you said that you're very much into your faith and strong in your faith, as am I. How does that guide you? Because to me, there is no better thing to talk about, better thing to lean into. I mean, God is truly great.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's the reason why I have my mustache and not my goatee right now, because of something that I got to do. So what does that relationship with God mean to you?
It's everything. I think it's, speaking of my father previously, he battled cancer on and off for 7.5 years, and without my faith, I wouldn't have been able to do what I did with him, along with my athletic and academic journey as well.
Yeah.
Everything that I have done, I do credit him for, and try to always stay grounded in my faith. That if I can stay grounded in that and doing what he, God or my father would want me to do, then I know I'm doing the right thing and living by that. And that is really the only judgment that matters at the end of the day, too.
Well, like you said, I mean, and there's a great, I go back to this all the time, and right now is the perfect time, is Mother Teresa's Do It Anyway.
Yes.
Where it ends with, see, at the end of it all, it really was never between you and them. It was always between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. So, I mean, you have to shut out the outside noise when you're an athlete. You have to shut out the hatred you get on the road. You have to shut out the people sometimes that are on your team that think they're better than you or they should be starting. You have to shut out the people that you might walk by on campus. How have you done that over the years? How have you let the outside noise remain, by definition, outside?
That's a great question, because I feel like even as an adult now, I still get that outside noise. And I think, similar to already what I said, is making sure that I stay true to who I am. Yeah. And what God or my father would have wanted for me and how they lived their lives. That is how I shut it out. When I know and I'm confident in my decisions because I'm doing it, every decision I make is done with integrity and done with the utmost character, then I don't really care what anyone else thinks. And if I don't also, if I don't want the life of another person, then I really won't care about their opinion either. To be honest, it's the people that I really look up to, and those are the people that I want to hear from. We talked before, like our favorite teachers. If my favorite teacher or my favorite coach were to have an opinion, then I would listen to that. But I think over the years I've realized it really is as long as I'm making decisions with integrity and being true to who I am, and that's what matters. And the other stuff really doesn't. So that's how I've just kind of stayed in my own lane and been able to focus.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point, what you had to say about, listen, if it comes from somebody that I value, someone who knows me, then, I'll hear it out. I used to get the conversation from, and I got to give credit to my ex of many years ago, but I have to give her credit because, see, this is how you learn and grow. You give credit to your exes, but you're at practice, like, why are you front? Like, what's frustrating you? And I said, well, when I'm sitting there with the media, they act like they're in this like private group, like they're in this treehouse, and then there's me over here, and nobody says hello to me. I was like, these people steal my stories, but they can't even say hi. Yeah. But again, years later, I'm like, would someone that broke into your house and stole something ever say hi to the owner? No. So, but, so she said, okay, so when you're here and the media's not talking to you, when the coaches come off, do they say hello? And I said, yeah. She's like, to who? I said, to me. She said, to anybody else? I said, like, maybe one other person. And she said, okay, so when the players come off the field, do they say what's up to you? And I said, yeah. She's like, do they talk to anybody else? I said, no. She said, okay, so you're not going to eat dinner with them. You're not going to sleep next to them. Why would you care? And in the grand scheme of things, who's going to get you farther in your world? Your peers that are fighting against you, or the coaches and the players that you're interviewing? So, that always stuck with me, and that made me think of that when you talked about there's a certain group that I will listen to, and then nobody else.
Yeah, that's actually huge. And again, I think it's just so important to always remember that, because even in the workplace, no matter what, you're going to have people that are rooting against you, or I know over the years I'm a very positive person. I've gotten that from my dad, and I do have a friend here tonight that knows my personality and knows that I'm very outgoing and positive. She's not even listening right now.
Do you want to shout her out? She just waved to you.
She just waved.
Do you want to shout her out or not?
Barry Grabowski is here representing.
Yeah.
But I think even over the years as an adult, people might have thought my personality or my positivity was not authentic to who I am or real, because it's hard to find that. But it really truly is who I am, and that's what matters to me, is living in that, and that has, I believe, gotten me this far. And now being down at IMG, which is the greatest school in the world for student athletes, that part of me being positive, that level of intensity in my personality has been so embraced. Yeah. And I feel so fortunate to be there and be embraced by, others who have reached the level that I've reached as well.
Well, and like you said, I mean, to not only have the honor of being in 4 Hall of Fames, but you're at IMG in Bradenton, Florida. And I mean, I said, if people don't know anything about sports, they know IMG. They know that academy. If you're thinking of anything beyond high school, in between high school and going to college, it's IMG. And I mean, it's a name that I've known. Really, it was the only name that I knew for many, many, many years. And if anybody says IMG anything to me, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's reputable.
Yeah.
So having a job there means what to you?
Oh my gosh. I still think I'm living a dream every day. I've been down there now 8 months, 9 months, and it's surreal. I do a lot of the tours and recruiting and bringing them through the hall. Like, there's this one hallway I say is my favorite hallway on campus, because you have the Williams sisters on the wall that trained with Bolletary. You have Andre Agassi. You have Maria Sharapova. Yeah. To have the female athletes who really put all female athletes on the map to be recognized, and that's where I get to work. Yeah. It doesn't feel like work, because that's what I've strived to be like.
Well, and like you said, it doesn't feel like work. Tell everybody how that came about, that opportunity.
I always think I wanted to be down in Florida, and I knew I wanted to be back in athletics. I was a vice principal at the time, and I was a teacher for many years, and when I became a vice principal, I had to give up coaching, and a hole was missing in me, and was able to get in contact and saw that there was an opening at IMG, and they were able to have this position open within a few weeks in February, middle of the school year, so I was able to make that move, thankfully. But it's been amazing, and I couldn't be more grateful to be there. And not only the weather is a plus, but again, you're surrounded by so much greatness every single day that you have to show up and be great no matter what, and other people around you will pick you up to do that too when you need it.
Well, and it seems like, if people follow your social media, I feel like you're training like you're going to play again. Oh. So, I mean, I feel like IMG's kind of commanded the best out of you as well.
It definitely has. I actually was just saying that before to my friend that's sitting over there, that I feel like I'm becoming the best possible version of myself at every level, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and it's putting me in that position to do so. As I absolutely love Syracuse, this will always be home to me, and but getting into a different environment, especially at the level of IMG, you have no choice but to kind of grow into the best possible version of what you're most capable of. And right now, I think the options are endless as to what's out there and what's possible.
And for you, I mean, what is the thought process now? I mean, you worked at Christian Brothers Academy for a while, and you got to be a part of the administration there, and now here you are living in this world of IMG, back in a world you know all too well, and in a sport that you love dearly. So what are your thoughts about, as you set your eyes on the horizon, which seemingly it looks very beautiful when you're down in Florida?
It does.
For sure.
I think no matter what I can do, my main priority is impacting the lives of young women. I even had that in my speech the other night. Yeah. That is my main priority, and that's the goal. And I think being down in Florida, I can impact even more lives than I would have potentially up here. But at the end of the day, it's about empowering young women and allowing them to be who they are. And when they feel that fire, when they feel something that they love, embracing that about them and honoring that and allowing them to step into who they truly are. And then when they go to that next level, because at the end of the day too, we're talking about teenagers at IMG, but going to that next level, I'm still in touch with a lot of my students that are in college and empowering them to be who they are and having them, you know, I think for women especially, take up space and have that personality come out in them and that strength and that fire, and not having anyone bring them down about that. That I think that's on the horizon for me, and in some way impacting, you know, a lot more women too.
And you said it was in your speech that you want to empower and help young women, and that pay it forward approach. Not everybody looks at that. They think about how they can help themselves. So why are you not living in that world of, oh, look at how great I am, but wanting to say, okay, these are the opportunities I had, this is what I fought for, this is what I did with those opportunities, now I want to create them for other people. Why focus in on the next person, and why care so much about how you can pay it forward?
Well, I've been there. I mean, and I've always been taught that. I think sometimes too that's innate. But I've been there, and I know, I go back sometimes to that why I love the hallway of the Williams sisters, because they did that for us. My favorite team ever is the 99ers for the U.S. women's national soccer team. When they won, and you know, Brandi Chastain with that penalty kick, but I've done, you know, so much reading upon that team and all the great female athletes. They've all paid it forward to the next. You know, looking at what Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers is doing for not only basketball, but for all women's sports, and bringing recognition to it. It's allowing so many more opportunities for young women. You know, we have, I am going to shout her out, but Barry, make sure you get this. We have one of the best lacrosse players in her class right now, Maura Beck, who is Syracuse native, and she just got the highest ranking score at the current Inside Lacrosse tournament for the 2028s, and being able to just impact those people that I even know personally, and allowing myself to have those conversations when they're, you know, when they need it, and seeing that translate to them accomplishing greater things than I did is incredible, and that's all I could ever ask for.
Why do you love lacrosse so much?
Okay, so I played like every sport possible. Soccer was my main sport for a while, actually.
Yeah.
But lacrosse, like, you could just run and be free, and then you can also hit people.
Okay.
No, but you can just be free. It's just an open field. The field was truly, I don't know, I just fell in love with it. It became my sanctuary, and it was combining all sports into one, and it was just my peace. That's what it became for me.
So you said you played all different sports. Was it hard to say goodbye to any of them?
No, it wasn't. That's how much I love lacrosse.
Okay. So when was that decision made by you that it's lacrosse and that's it?
After my sophomore year of high school. That's when I knew I wanted to play lacrosse in college instead of soccer.
And you said it wasn't hard to say goodbye to anything, not even soccer. When you look back on your time playing soccer, is there anything about that, and I know it's totally different sport, but there's a lot of running, a lot of endurance, a lot of stamina, a lot of strength, and you have to train like crazy to be ready for soccer. So is there something from soccer that you took onto the lacrosse field?
Honestly, my freshman year coach, Godwin, his coaching style is what I took into the lacrosse world. He was one of the greatest coaches that I ever had as an athlete, and I just remember him saying, if I'm not yelling at you, then that means I don't care anymore. So when I heard my name out of his mouth constantly, I was like, okay, that must be a positive. And then that translated, honestly, as I got older, to a lot of the great coaches that I had, that I had the mentality that when I heard them disciplining me or yelling at me out on the field, it was like because they saw the best in me and they wanted the best for myself, so it made me push myself to be even better. So honestly, it wasn't so much the training, it was like the coaches that I had in soccer that translated to a lot of the greatness in lacrosse.
And you said, I mean, you fell in love with it, you felt free, you can go wherever you want to go, and you can hit people. Was that a place for you to have that moment of, man, I want to say this to this person, but I won't, so I'm going to go hit somebody on the field? Or, I mean, did you use it as a place to say, let me take all that negativity in my life and let me put it over here?
That is 100% what I did. My senior year of high school, I don't know if it's still a record, but I scored a lot of goals during that year. And that was the first year my dad was diagnosed with cancer. So lacrosse gave me that opportunity to put those feelings, I wouldn't even say of negativity, but of like maybe anger and emotions and all of that. And I was able to use the field and the sport to get a lot of that out of me.
I mean, you took something you couldn't control and brought it into something you can.
Yes, and it saved my life. I always say that lacrosse saved my life, and I don't know where I would be without it.
When you say it saved your life, I can understand it, but to go a little bit deeper into it, is it because of all the energy and the time and everything you had to put into it, that it didn't allow you to kind of sit and think about all these things that were upsetting you? I mean, what was it about lacrosse that saved you?
It became my safe place and my safe haven. Training is where I was able to get all of that out of me.
Yeah.
And I just loved it, and I was able to be free. And I think also the teammates I had over the years, you can't supplement the support from teammates or coaches with anything else. So I don't even know if it was the energy that I put into it that saved me. It was because what peace it brought me when I had a stick in my hand. And even still, when I pick up a stick, it's like I feel at home.
So for you, do you feel like it'll ever leave you, or are you going to be that mom that's like putting a stick in their crib being like, just so you know, this is what you're going to do?
I'll probably be that mom that puts a stick in their crib, but my friends always joke that I'll have like a kid that doesn't want to play sports.
How will you handle that?
As long as they're happy and healthy, that's all I care about.
But
I don't have kids on the way though, guys.
But you just push it a little bit. Just a little bit.
Honestly, I think, what I loved about my parents is that they didn't push though.
Yeah.
And they just let me be who I was. So I realized that I think is what actually empowered me, because nothing was forced on me.
Yeah.
So when I think about eventually I would like to have kids, and if that's what is in God's plan for me, then I won't push it, but I definitely will love it if they do. But I also don't know, because I'm like, I know the game so well. I don't want to put any pressure on them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll put that pressure, because I didn't have that on me. It was just something I fell in love with, and my parents just let me play.
If you were to have kids, would you coach them if they wanted to play?
Okay, so that's a really good question. I would love to. My dad always joked that he would always have to be around because I would be too crazy to coach them, because I'm wildly competitive, and it's like a problem with how competitive I am.
Okay.
But I would like to. I would love that. I would love to, what I loved is seeing, some of my former coaches bring their kids around the older girls and all of that, because I do think that makes a difference, especially if you have a girl, and you can bring them around young women that are strong, competitive athletes. Yeah, I would say I see myself coaching. We'll just see how crazy I get.
And I mean, as we honor you, and like you said, having imposter syndrome, like it hasn't like hit you that it's happening. It's almost like you're seeing it, but it's not you.
Correct.
In a way. So when you reflect on your career though, and you think about everything that you got to experience and everything you achieved and all the hard work you put in and what that ended up looking like, I mean, did you ever have that thought when you hung up the stick, and that maybe at some point in your life somebody would come up to you and say, hey Brittany, we would like to give you a little honor for that?
No, honestly. I mean, I never really thought about it. I just knew when I was training that I wanted to play for a national championship, and then got to be able to play at, the first ever women's post-collegiate team. And I think playing at that, I think that was enough of an honor even for me, because that was like being a pioneer in the sport, and that allowed us to have professional lacrosse now. So I think that was, at that time, like my greatest honor was being able to be a part of something that was bigger than myself, and going back to young women, but giving other women that opportunity.
Well, you said, getting to play for a team post-college, which when it comes to women's athletics, I mean, let's face it, when you and I were growing up, there was nothing when it came to professional.
Yeah.
College basketball was the only thing you heard about when it came to women, and it was Tennessee and UConn. And I remember going into my parents' room, going into the bathroom, finding the newspaper, and going through the newspaper, and the best that I would have for women's basketball is they might have 3 to 5 box scores.
Yeah.
But it wasn't on TV. They didn't show the women's basketball tournament. They didn't show any tournaments. The only thing that they would show is the women's national championship for basketball for Division I. And so that's how you knew UConn, and that's how you knew Tennessee, Gino Auriemma, Pat Summitt, respectively. But you didn't hear about anything else. I remember thinking to myself, like, we make such a fuss about the men's NCAA tournament, but they treat the women's tournament like there isn't one. And then the WNBA came out, and you didn't really hear about it, and it wasn't on television. And then you hear about the National Women's Soccer League, the NWSL, and now we have a professional softball league, and like you talked about with professional lacrosse. But all of these things, I said, it's this weird, vicious cycle of it's not out there, then we put it out there, but we don't televise it, and we don't promote it, so we act like it's not there, then we wonder why people don't come, then we don't make any money, so then nobody wants to sponsor it because we don't put it on TV, and we're not going to put it on TV, so then nobody can watch it. So I was like, if you want to change women's athletics, put them on television, talk about them, put them in magazines, put them on the radio. Like, if you want people to consume it, you have to allow them the opportunity to. If Meier's Creek didn't have a menu, you couldn't eat the food. And if you couldn't eat the food, then nobody would know that it's good, so then nobody would come here to eat it. Same thing. Yes. So I'm happy that people are consuming women's sports, but that doesn't happen until somebody goes, maybe we should put this on TV.
I think, I'll never forget during COVID, I think that was a huge turning point for women's sports, when the weight rooms were promoted on Instagram.
Oh, when it was exposed, the discrepancy between the men's and women's basketball.
And at that point in college sports, it was not the funding, especially because it was during COVID, and it showed, there was a set of dumbbells and yoga mats for the girls, and the men's had an entire, side. I mean, you even think about when you're talking about the tournament, it's the, NCAA tournament, automatically your mind goes to men's. So I always also put that on to people, well, which one are you talking about? you know, if they're saying something about the NCAA tournament or something with playoffs or whatnot, I always say, well, are you talking about the men's or the women's? Because it's just automatically assumed they're talking about the men's, but at least it gets them thinking, oh, I need to focus on, there are multiple sports, and in my generation now, a lot of my friends are having kids and they have daughters, and I think, you know, my dad having me was what made him love women's sports and realize the discrepancies that were there. Of those little things, even though it seems little and some people get annoyed by it, those are really big things that matter at the end of the day.
Well, and I mean, now we see the WNBA, the amount of teams, it feels like overnight that they're approaching and that they have, and, you know, different places getting these opportunities now. I mean, we look out to Golden State in California, in that area with the Valkyries. We look at, I'm a Toronto Raptors fan, in Toronto having a franchise. So what the WNBA has become, who's sponsoring it, and the NWSL. I mean, there was a time when I learned that there was a women's professional soccer league in America. I also learned that, like, the tickets weren't that expensive, and I didn't really know if anybody knew about it. So the crazy thing about it is when you have the conversation about the United States women's national team that plays in the World Cup, there's no country in the world that is more successful in women's soccer than the United States of America. But when we talk about it, we talk about, is the men's team going to even make it? Are they going to qualify? Like, the women's team is going to make it. Right. They're going to fight for a championship. They're facing the world. They're facing the, you know, the Brazils and the Spains and the Englands and France and Germany and so on and so forth. But they were talking more of, are the men going to make it, than they're talking about the fact that the women were so successful. And then I did my research and I went, wait a second. The women have won more titles than Brazil, England, France, Italy, Spain, Germany. And I was like, that's insane. So when they talk about men and they talk about Brazil and they talk about France and they talk about Italy and they talk about Spain, like, the women lead the charge in the world for that. And it was like, well, where do those players come from? Well, they come from the NWSL. So you mean I can watch them for $8 and then they're going to go play for a world championship in the World Cup? So, I mean, to me, it's about giving information. It's about, I mean, you got to put it out there. When I started my career in 2003, I said, they're like, hey, they had me come to do a game, and they said, all right, we're going to do this thing. And I said, men's and women's basketball? And they said, well, definitely men's. And I said, both. And they went, and I was like, I'm doing both, or I'm not doing it.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
I did. So my career started with me sticking up for women. And they're like, why? And I said, well, why? We do double headers. So I'm going to come to a women's game and set up in the middle of it for the men's game to be like, I'm here, but not for you.
Not important enough.
And my friends these women are incredible. And they go back to those days and they're like, damn, that meant the world to us. And I'm like, I was there for you. I wasn't there for me. But I look at it now when all of these networks have to cover women's sports and have to care and have to promote it and have to do these interviews. And sometimes I wonder, are you doing it because you want to, or are you doing it because you don't want to get canceled? Where when I say I started my career in November 2003, it was men and women at the same time. So I can proudly say that in November, I'm 22 years of men's and women's athletics and not just covering what everybody else did.
Well, that means a lot to me, and I think all women. So thank you. I didn't know that.
Y'all deserve it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to do, like, this was something, I didn't know you were coming into town. I didn't know you were going to be here. And when I found out you were here, I was like, heck, I'm going to do a shot in the dark here and ask her if she wants to do a show. And we could have done it on Zoom. We could have done it in my studio. But I wanted to bring you out in public. I wanted to sit next to you because this is not weird to me. Like covering bowling or volleyball or softball or lacrosse or soccer or women's athletic, like this isn't weird for me. I treat Jim Boeheim, Fran Brown, Joe Theismann that won a Super Bowl like you're a human.
Yes.
And the only humans I don't like dealing with are what I call diligent a-holes.
Yeah.
The people that wake up every day and they're like, I hate my life, so I want you to hate yours.
Yeah.
I don't care what color you are, I don't care what
Yep.
religion you are, I don't care what background you have, how much money you have, what sport you play, what sex you are. At the end of the day, man, woman, or child, if you want to sit with me and you want to talk about life, let's do it.
Yep.
And so to me, like, this spotlight means a lot to me because I respect you, I value the people that value you, and I just love the fact that I get to put a spotlight on someone in central and upstate New York that I can, like, rah-rah and say, like, this is awesome, you know, like, I'm proud of you, genuinely.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Well, you deserve it. You said nice things about me off the air that I don't deserve. Like, I was having imposter syndrome. So, no, I mean, like, you're a very sweet and kind and hardworking person, and you're genuine, and I feel that in my heart. So, to me, I mean, you could have played any sport and done whatever, and I would have still been like, do you want to sit and do this thing?
Well, thank you. I mean, that means a lot. And talk about imposter syndrome. Yeah, it's amazing to be here and to even hear that. And again, I just think I'm here to give the next generation a chance and to allow them to accomplish more than I was able to. And so whatever way I can impact that using my platform and using my success, then that's what I plan to do.
Well, and like you said, I mean, it's about everybody else. It's about helping people. When you're at IMG, what is most rewarding to you when you're training athletes?
When we see a girl's life change, whether it's because they come to IMG and that's their opportunity, but really, I haven't been there long enough yet, but from my past experiences, it's absolutely from seeing how successful my former students are, my former athletes are, and not taking credit, I don't want to say that, but giving some guidance to show them what they're capable of.
Yeah.
So I would say that's going to be what I'm most proud of at IMG when I've been there, to see that, to see the years accumulate a little bit.
When you're taking in the sport now, and you're living in it now and breathing it as you have for so many years, is there anything about it that has changed that you like or don't like? Is there an evolution of it, or is there something that de-evolved to you in some way when you look at the sport?
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I don't mean to cut you off, but I love it. I think what these girls are doing as athletes, it's incredible. The shot clock was huge, sixes, being able to, like, knowing that lacrosse is going to be in the Olympics, the level of creativity and athleticism and grit and heart. Not that that was missing at all, but the creativity and just the opportunity, but I just see it growing so much, so we're able to see so many people across the country and across the world embrace, like, again, who they are on a field and be able to promote that. I love what the sport has turned into. It's so exciting. It's faster paced now. It's more aggressive. Yeah, what these girls are doing with their sticks are unbelievable on the field. I don't think I would be able to ever do it with my stick at all.
Well, there's somebody at Lemoyne now who shares my last name.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I love her.
And so by blood, we are cousins, but by every bit of our relationship, everyone knows her as my sister.
Yes.
She's in my phone as Fran Lil Sis. And so Miss Francesca Tortora, named after my great grandma. And I'd love to get your thoughts, because she saw that we were doing this and I saw her very positive reaction, and she's a sweetheart. So what are your thoughts about Franny, my little sis, being at Lemoyne? And of course you had your time at Lemoyne as well.
I want her to break my records.
Okay.
I really mean that. I don't know if I said it to her father or not, but yeah, I think that it's possible. And that's what I'm hoping for her. That I think that she can break, you know, the most goals in a game, most goals in a season, and be able to do that this year. Especially, you know, she's faced a lot of trials and tribulations herself, and has stayed positive and stayed the path and has continued to work hard, and it amazes me to see that. And yeah, so honestly, I hope she breaks some records this year.
And I mean, the records that you have, again, it's insane. Like, it's so awesome, right? I mean, like, you're not even 35 years old and you're a 4-time Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Like,
that doesn't sound real.
I don't feel like I should be, I feel like I shouldn't be sitting here. You know, I feel like I need to get in the Hall of Fame of something to sit here. But I mean, it's just, it's so cool. Like, that's got to be awesome for you. So I would joke with people, like, if I got a phone call now and they're like, we would like to honor you in our Hall of Fame, I'd be like, another one?
Yeah.
Really? I don't have any more room on my shelf.
Well, it's funny because when people are like talking about the speech and whatnot, I'm like, well, you know, for Hall of Fames, this is my 4th one that I am doing a speech for. So there were a lot more people at this one, I will say that, than ever, but I'm kind of, I don't want to say used to standing in front of people, but a little bit now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surreal to say.
Were you ever a public speaker? Like, did you ever like it, or you didn't?
I loved it. I always like did the readings at church and like did all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because when we sat down here, you're like, all right, I'm good. It's going to be fine. I'm like, you have this, Brittany. Like,
Yeah.
This is not...
It's just like the lead up, I get nervous, but
Yeah.
once we're here, I don't
It's
mind.
relaxing.
Yeah, I
It's
really
fun.
don't mind. Yeah.
The whole point of everything that I do is I want people watching and listening to feel like they're sitting on a couch with us,
Yeah.
and we're just hanging out as friends. And I tell people I never talk to you or at you, I talk with you. So, like, you're welcome to be a part of it. You know, I don't want people to watch it and be like, oh, wow, that's so cool. I was like, feel like you're there. Like, I want them to be engaged. And I think the fact that you want to pay it forward, like, you're speaking to all these young girls that are watching and listening right now that can be anywhere in the world. I mean, there could be some young girl in Indonesia going like, can that be me? You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of telling these stories and having you sit here today, is some girl in some nook or cranny of the world can see this and she can say, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah.
I got this.
You know, I realized that when I was playing with STX, which was the post-collegiate team, my father was still alive during that time, and I was able to get our story out, and I saw that impact the lives of so many people. And now with the power of social media and everything else that's out there, to be able to, you know, impact that at a greater level, just means like there's nothing else that means more. That's what I've been surrounded with my father, and you know, I'm sure you've covered Ray Rinaldi over the years. You know, his life goal has always been, and he has saved thousands of kids' lives, and that's what I'm hopeful to do as well, and lead in their path.
Well, like you said, saving lives, you know, you say lacrosse saved your life. You have the opportunity to give that to someone else, help somebody else to really see their worth and their value. So what is your day-to-day when you're at IMG? What is asked of you? What does a typical day look like, a typical week look like for you?
It depends on the day, because I do more of the recruiting for it. So it depends. So some days it's a tour. Before I came here, we had an awesome prospect day where we had kids from all over the country come to potentially be IMG athletes. A lot of outreach and just looking for that next great player to become part of our program.
So in the recruiting world, are you spending a lot of time watching film as well?
Yes, some of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I like to see it though in person if I can.
okay, so you like to go.
I would prefer to see it in person.
So will IMG say to you like, hey, you're going all over the country? Do they want you to stick in a certain area? Because anybody can go to IMG.
Right.
So do they give you a region, or how does that work for you?
Well, we actually have 20 different states represented in our program.
Okay.
In 2 countries, with Canada and US.
Yeah.
Now there's like 68 countries represented all at IMG for all the sports. So no, it's really, I mean, we have a lot of people that are interested, so it's not stuck to one region. We do have the biggest lacrosse tournament though of the year that is held at IMG, and then I do work with US Lacrosse a little bit, so I'm able to travel for both of those to see like the best talent in the country, which I think we, you know, in the US we have some of the best talent in the world here, so it's really cool.
Well, and you came from the homeland, right, of lacrosse. When we talk about Native Americans and their creation of this, and Onondaga County and just upstate New York in general in the Northeast. So how will that kind of always be a badge of honor for you, that not only do you love this sport and you get to teach and be around this and recruit for this sport, but that you came from the place that's considered the home and the birth of lacrosse?
I honestly go back to my faith a little bit when it comes to that, because that is, lacrosse is on such a spiritual level for the Native Americans. And I think that's what makes lacrosse so special, that it's a sport that's done for a bigger reason, and that's why it started. So having that part of me be able to be in Florida, which, you know, Florida is not popular with lacrosse yet, but be able to provide that and also have people understand why the game was created. And it's bigger than, again, anything else that's out there, I think, because it was created for a bigger purpose.
And for you, what part of the story of the creation of lacrosse sticks with you the most? Like what is the thing that you kind of always go back to when you're thinking about the birth of it and the evolution, just why it's here, why it exists? Because some people, you know, they go out and they say, I like this sport, I don't like that sport, I like to watch that one, I like to play that one, but they don't really know the story. So what of the story stays top of mind to you?
Right when you ask that question, I just think that it's known as the creator's game. So that's what I think about, that at the end of the day, it is the creator's game, no matter who the creator is for each person that plays it. It still was created for, you know, whoever we look to as the creator, and I think that is the most meaningful thing that I could ever imagine.
Good. Well, we're going to play some rapid fire
Okay.
after giving an ode to God here. We are here with Brittany Brigandi, of course, myself, Dan Tortora, 2 names that end in a vowel, so you know there's Italian here. Hispanic on my side. Are you full Italian?
Full Italian.
Okay, so you're 100% Italian, I'm
Yes.
Italian and Hispanic. So, okay, so there's a lot of Italian
Yes.
going on here. So we're going to do rapid fire, where we can talk about a little bit of everything with the 4-time Hall of Famer and Central and Upstate New York native here from Myers Creek on 33 Rippleton Road in Cazenovia. You know that Myers Creek is partnered with Wake Up Call in this location in Caz, as well as the Syracuse Inner Harbor, and I'm going to be there tomorrow night. So the first time ever you get to be a part of my history that I've been in both Myers Creeks broadcasting in back-to-back days.
Okay.
So you're my Wake Up Call spotlight in Caz. Tomorrow, Wake Up Call game day will be live on site on location, once again for Syracuse football, as we will be previewing Syracuse, North Carolina at 4:30 p.m. Isaac Elford and myself from Syracuse Inner Harbor, Myers Creek, and then we'll go up to the Dome at 7:30 and watch the game with everybody. So
I love that.
I'm going to let you ask me the first question. Any topic, any question.
Favorite movie?
I'm a movie person, and I love movies dearly. The one that I can recite, and this goes back to CBA, physics was, I don't know how I got through physics. I have no idea. And I took I took AP physics, and
I did too, and I cried during my AP exam.
well, it was so ridiculous. And they told us if we passed his exam, our teacher, we didn't have to take the regents. So I'm like, just pass this thing. And I did really well. And I'm going to tell you point blank, this is what I did. When they put, I don't remember any of the questions. When they put the physics exam down and I grabbed my pencil, Liar Liar started playing in my head. And I played it from the opening credits all the way to the end credits. And I had to watch the whole movie. And then when I finished the movie and went to the credits, I put my pencil down. I have no idea what I wrote, but I think I got a 90-something.
Wait, that's actually amazing.
That's what happened.
Okay, Liar Liar.
Because if you bring me to any point in the movie, I can bring you through it.
Okay, interesting.
So, and I love Jim Carrey. My question back to you, if you and I were starring in a movie that we created right now,
oh boy.
So it's going to be a comedy.
Okay.
You got to pick a job for you and a job for me that we're not doing, and you have to pick a city that is our backdrop.
Boston, the city.
Okay, why?
I love Boston. I love the North End.
Okay, Boston. What are you doing? What am I doing in this comedy?
Oh boy. I don't know, when I think of Boston and I think of the North End, I feel like I'm an old Italian lady that's like making the biscottis in the back.
Okay. And I am doing what?
You can be selling them.
I'm selling biscottis. Nice. I trust my ability to sell anything, so.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I like think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have done impressions my whole life, and I do have a Bostonian one that I whip out. So, what's your next one for me?
Favorite sport?
It's got to be the one that I shut my brain off and fall in love with all the time, and I'm falling in love with it again. Not that I ever fell out of love, but I'm playing it again. I'm going to the gym, and I blame Jim Dispenza and the Game Point Sports Complex that he created. But I've been back on the court, and basketball it's such a part of everything about me. I hope there's a court in heaven, God. And yeah, it's one of the few things in my life that I can completely just be at peace, think of nothing. And I was at the Bryan and Stratton women's basketball practice recently, and I took a shot from beyond half court on the right wing and let it go, and it dropped right through the net, and the girls saw it, and so we had some fun with that. So
I love that.
Yeah, I love basketball, always.
Well, Michael Jordan's like the reason I wore 23 and why I fell in love with sports.
Michael is?
Yes.
All right.
Him and Mia Hamm were my entire bedroom.
This is not my question, but indulge me how Mia Hamm and Michael Jordan brought out this insane lacrosse player in you.
Because the way they just played and they grinded, and it was just their energy out on the field and court, like, I don't know. I don't even think about like the points that they scored, but just like I'd probably watched The Last Dance countless times at this point, because they just had that intensity and that fire, and I loved it, and I wanted to just be like them.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player.
Without a doubt.
And anyone that tries to have conversations with me about LeBron, I
No.
walk them out of the room pretty easily.
Yeah. Yes.
I only have to say two things. If LeBron's the greatest, why do you wear Michael's number?
Oh, I like that one.
And why did he make Space Jam 2? Why don't you do your own thing?
So it's so funny because my dad one time commented on like a Facebook post that like, this was before Space Jam 2, but he literally said Jordan is the greatest because he was in Space Jam, and LeBron did not have that. But I do like that it's Space Jam 2.
And I've never seen Space Jam 2.
I haven't either.
You know
and
why?
Space Jam's my favorite movie.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna knock anybody who's in the movie, but like, if you're gonna make Space Jam, you make it with Michael Jordan. It's not that it doesn't matter, that's a joke. But you don't make Space Jam without Jordan.
No, you can't.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
By the way, I interviewed Muggsy Bogues, and I asked him about Charles Barkley, and I remember him laughing and telling me that Charles Barkley is insane. He's like, he's crazy.
I've heard that.
Because he was on the set with him,
Yes.
obviously. And obviously played in the NBA with him, too.
Well, I just think that 90s era of basketball, too, when you're talking about basketball, like, there's nothing like it.
No. And most of the NBA was good. And Michael played against the good players. He didn't buy them like LeBron.
Correct. And it was like, it was so physical. Like, I just love the physicality of it.
Yeah. And we all know that Michael Jordan 100% fouled Byron Russell when he pushed him out of the way. But still one of the greatest moments in basketball
Yes,
history.
absolutely.
So my question for you, Brittany. Okay, well, with us being Italian, we love Italian food. So if you were on, this is also an Italian thing, but we always find a way to get off of this. If you were on death row, which Italians typically don't stay on,
I was gonna say.
but if you were on death row, what
Yeah.
would be your last meal?
Oh gosh. I mean, some type of pasta, baked ziti or stuffed shells.
Okay.
Yeah, baked ziti or stuffed shells with either like my mother's sauce or Angati sauce. Because I don't eat red sauce if it's like not by them.
Okay. Now I feel challenged that I'm going to make you my homemade red sauce.
Yeah,
if you
because
like it.
it's hard to find really good homemade red sauce. Okay. I don't know when I'll be back here, but
We're going to have to figure it out. I'm going to have to, Florida is the second hub of my company, so I'll have to either just bring it down with me.
Yeah.
Or I just make it.
Yeah, that's probably
when
the
I'm
best
down there.
bet.
Just
Yeah.
make it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right, what's your last question for me?
Favorite person you've ever interviewed? And why?
So like I told you off air, we have an entertainment show, a travel show that has to do with like comic books and collectibles. We have a relationship show, we have a sports show, and we have a Disney show, and Disney-centric show. So favorite person, I'm going to pick one from Superpowered Pop, which is the entertainment show, and I'll pick one from Wake Up Call, which is obviously the sports show. So from Superpowered Pop, interviewing the creator of Darkwing Duck.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a Disney character.
Okay.
It was from Disney afternoons when you and I were growing up as children.
Okay.
And I asked him, I said to Tad Stones, I said, what was your inspiration for Darkwing? Like, how did you come up with Darkwing Duck? And he said, I pictured Batman if he had a daughter and he stayed around to raise her, but never stopped fighting crime.
Oh, I love that.
And I was like, that's insanely cool.
That's really awesome.
And I remember I got off, I was recording and I finished the recording, and I sat in my old studio, and my girlfriend at the time walked by, and I said to her, I was like, babe. She's like, what? I said, I interviewed Tad Stone. She's like, I know. I was like, you don't get it. I said, he's the creator of Darkwing Duck. And she's like, I don't get it. And I was like, we're not going to be together. Like, we're going to have to break up at some point. And we did, thank the Lord. But yeah, I was like, I feel like we'll have to be like wearing a Darkwing Duck shirt. That'll be like God's
That's when you
side to me.
know.
I'm going to
Yes.
tell you this, Brittany, in this world of dating, I would have to get hit over the head for me to believe that it's real.
Same.
Because so much of today is fake.
Yeah.
It's like an Instagram filter.
Disagree.
So yeah, so I'm gonna pick Tad Stones from Superpowered Pop.
Okay.
And then from Wake Up Call, there's one I always say, so I'm not gonna say that. I love you, Floyd Little, in heaven. Still one of my best friends. I'm gonna say,
Besides me.
I do love that we got to do this, though. Man, we're gonna have to do it more.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have to Zoom for a minute and then maybe do something in Florida. But, man, who would I pick? So, Wake Up, I lost track at 5,000 guests
Oh, wow.
that we've had on the show.
Okay.
So, I don't know how many we've had at this point. It's probably 5,500, 6,000, maybe 6,000.
Wow.
So, I'm gonna say, man, for Wake Up Call, my favorite. It's super tough.
It's a good question.
I know. It's so hard because like I'm running through all the sports in my brain right now. am gonna say, man, probably like I want to do it again and more elaborate, like not elaborate, but I want to have more time. And he was coaching UConn at the time, and I was like, hey, I want to do this interview with you. I know you're coaching UConn, but you have to indulge me with Syracuse a little bit because I was like 16 years old when you were coaching. But Paul Pasqualoni.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Coach P kid.
That's okay.
He's my coach. That's my guy.
I love that.
Coach P. So,
Okay.
yeah, so probably like more time with Coach P.
Okay.
And Steve Adazio, him and I are very good friends. So Steve, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna tag you in this video, and your butt better make that happen. That I get to, cause oh yeah, I talk to Coach P all the time. I'm like, bro, figure it out.
Make it happen.
Just like one of my buddies is friends with Boys to Men, and I was like, why have they not been in my life?
Right.
So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so I'm gonna say Coach P.
Okay.
I love Coach P. He looked at me, we were walking, and he looked at me and I was like, are you ready to go? And he just gave me a look like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we started talking and I felt like I needed to apologize for you. You just feel like, I'm sorry that when I was 5,
Right.
I think I spit on the floor and I shouldn't have. So, yeah, Coach P.
I love that.
My last question for you. Okay, so the next time we do an interview, God can snap his fingers and we will appear in any place.
Italy.
Okay. Have you been?
No.
I just went. It was an 11-year promise with my dad,
Really?
and we just went. And there's a
I would
Tortora in
kill.
Italy. There's literally an Italy that has my name.
I think there's a. I don't know if there's a Brigandi.
Yeah, there's a.
But I
there's
want to
a-
go to Sicily so bad.
Okay. I haven't been there, so there's a Syracuse there.
Yes.
So I went to Maddaloni, where my dad's family's from, outside of Napoli.
Yeah.
And I, in the moment, decided that I was going to climb a mountain. And I climbed it to the Stations of the Cross and
Oh my
followed
God.
Jesus all the way to his cross. And then got to the top. And then got to do the outdoor-indoor church. It's dead silent. Got on my knees, prayed, and realized that something I've been saying to myself to get through hard times for years had exactly what to do with that mountain. And I never would
Oh
have
my
guessed
gosh.
it. So in God in my life, he always is like, hey, you don't think I'm orchestrating
Yeah,
anything, do you?
yes.
But literally
He's doing
everything
everything.
that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so there's one thing in my life that has not happened yet. And he just did something recently where he's like, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
I legitimately knew you were going to be here doing this thing at this time. I made sure of it. So if I can be this precise, then like I'm going to do that because I've done everything else.
That's amazing.
So, all right, Italy. I love it. There is a
Yeah.
Tortora, Italy. The seafood's incredible. It's a
Okay.
beach. There's a beach there.
Okay.
I stole a bunch of rocks.
You have to.
They're beautiful. Rome was beautiful. And Napoli is the birthplace of pizza, and they're 100% correct.
Okay.
Here's God again. Could have stayed anywhere in Napoli. We stay at this hotel. We come out, my dad goes, right or left? I said, let's go left. So we go left. We walk, we get pizza, we get up, and then we just keep walking left. We go around the corner. We have no idea where we're going. Go around the corner, go up a hill. We both look at the same time. There's a burger shop, Tortora,
Stop.
and I met the owner.
Oh my gosh.
And now we follow each other at social media.
That's amazing.
In anywhere in Italy I could have been.
Oh my gosh.
I'm there with Tortora Burgers.
That's wow.
And he does smash burgers and American food.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Napoli.
Wow. I was gonna say like a burger shop you don't really think of.
No,
but-
and it's like he's killing it because who's doing it
Right.
in Italy?
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Very smart.
Okay.
So you want to go to Italy.
I do.
So the next show is going to be in Italy, and you said we're going to be in Sicily.
Yes.
Okay.
The Godfather Trail.
Oh, we're going to do the Godfather.
Yeah.
Show. Okay. I tell people all the time, I'm like, when that horse head ends up in the bed, and I love animals, let me preface. When the horse head's in the bed, I said Italians do something nobody else does. People scream, cry, and leave the room, Italians laugh and go, well, he must have done something wrong.
Right. I don't disagree with you.
I literally laughed and I go, well, obviously this guy's a jerk.
Yeah, like he must have done something.
He's a snitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't deal with those
No, we don't.
kindly.
No.
So I want to leave with this. You get the last word.
Okay.
So you pick Sicily. We're going to do the Godfather trail. But the final word from you, I'm going to ask this of you. If you could say, if your dad appeared right in front of us, and his first name for everyone that doesn't know.
Tony.
So Tony's,
Obviously.
so obviously Tony. Perfect timing. Oh my gosh. Are you guys not incredible here? Speaking of smash burgers. So what is your first name?
I'm Ashley.
Ashley? Ashley timed my food that I ordered before the show began to end as you're sending us off. So Ashley deserves a raise.
We'll tell Cody.
I'm going to tell Cody and Colby we're going to make it happen. So Tony's here with us right now,
Oh, I wish. Yeah.
which he is.
Yeah.
God's standing here. Tony's next to him. What do we want to say to Tony?
Thank you. Thank you for everything that he's done for me and instilling what he instilled, but by living how I strive to live every day. So it would be thank you and how can I do it myself for that next person as well.
Well, Tony, you left the world with a great continuation of you. So God bless to Tony up in heaven, to all of the Brigandis, and shout out to everybody from Myers Creek. Thanks to Colby, thanks to Cody, thanks to the staff here at Caz on 33 Rippleton Road, and of course at Syracuse Inner Harbor on 720 Van Rensselaer Street. For Brittany Brigandi, Miss Brittany, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to shake your hand.
All right. Thank
And
you.
for myself, Dan Tortora, this has been our Wake Up Call Spotlight with the 4-time Hall of Famer, Lemoyne Gold Wave Hall of Fame, Northeast 10 Hall of Fame, the Upstate Lacrosse Foundation Hall of Fame, and most recently, the Greater Syracuse Sports Hall of Fame.
Crazy.
And the camera zoomed in perfectly on you.
Perfect.
Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. God
Thank
bless.
you.
No stress. Do your best, as we say here on Wake Up Call. Have a good night. Be good.